fun. Okay, so here are other caravan dates not in the schedule that I just mentioned. June 15th is Commissioning Sunday. The reason we do this is one of the really neat parts of Caravan is it feels like it's not just students going on the trip, it's an extension of our whole church. It's something that our whole congregation does together. It's only possible because our missions committee gives us some money and our whole church congregation is praying for us. And so this is one of the ways we recognize this is our church doing it together, is the church body sending these students out. So that's really important. Students need to be here at 9:30. And then the Monday immediately after Caravan, there's Caravan Sunday rehearsal. Again, part of the whole concept is our church is doing this together. So the church sends the students out, and the students need to be faithful in coming back and reporting about everything that God's been doing in their hearts and in Oklahoma City. So Caravan Sunday is really important. We take it really seriously. And so students will need to be here from 3 to 5 on Monday, and then again 3 to 5 on Wednesday. And sometimes the students like to practice in between. Now we try to design this, I know this is 4th of July weekend, so we tried to design it to where theoretically you could leave after this and come back before this if you are just really determined to get out of town this weekend. So, but again, we would just really love it if you guys were faithful in having your kids at both rehearsals and there on time on Sunday. I put 2.5 services for Caravan Sunday because only a handful of students need to be at early light. But we do represent Caravan really well at all 3 services. So,
Commissioning Sunday, is that intersections also?
yes, I think so. Isn't that how it normally
I
is?
thought it was, but it
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Good question.
What time do they need to arrive for intersections?
Yeah, another good question. Let's say 4:30.
So they should be at both then, or? one?
Yeah, if you could be at both, that would be really great. I know that's a big commitment for a Sunday, so of course we'll understand if you can't make it at both, but again, this is an important deal. So, but good question.
And pool party on Sunday, is it?
Yes, great. Always on this Sunday, there's a pool party. Yeah, I should have put that on there. Thank you. So,
In between?
yeah, in between the 10 a.m. and intersections, there's a lunch and pool party. That information, of course, we'll publish it more, but the specific information is in the original folding handout that came in your Caravan package. Other questions? Yeah.
The original package said for Wednesday, July 2nd, it said 4 to 6:30, so it's 3 to 5 now,
Oh, yeah.
which would be better.
I think we're going to keep it 3 to 5. Yeah.
So theoretically, you can buy a plane ticket for like 7 o'clock that night or something.
Yeah, or if you're driving. Yeah. Sure.
I guess they're going out of town.
Are you asking for a friend? Sounds like you're asking for a friend.
But I mean, there's not gonna be anything on Thursday though, right? Even if their
No.
subgroup is gonna practice, they would not.
Yeah, we're
be
going
Thursday.
to have nothing on Thursday.
Okay.
Nothing on Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
Okay.
So, yeah, we try to schedule this. Actually, next year, we moved the Caravan date, mostly because we're tired of fighting this weekend. I'm sure you guys are too. So we won't have to wrestle with this anymore, but we tried to schedule it in the most convenient way possible, even though it's an inconvenient weekend. All right, so schedule, these are the extra dates. Here are the things that we will actually be doing, and I think this helps wrap your mind around the packing list. So one really difficult and interesting thing as far as planning this has been, it's really hard to figure out with any detail what you might be doing in a disaster area because there have fluctuating permits and supplies and staff. So there's a sense in which we sort of don't know what we're going to be doing. And they try and plan it solidly the week before, but even at this point, this is the most information that we have. So there will be, I think, a need for flexibility, but I think all the advisors know, man, that is just part of the week. You never have, even if it's supposed to be set in stone, only the Lord knows what's going to happen that week, in a good way and bad way. So here are the 3 things that we are most likely to do, or that we will at least do some of, and then there's some other things that we might do that I'll mention at the end. So job 1, the Red Cross has been really involved there. the church that we're working with is the headquarters, local headquarters for both the Red Cross and the National Guard. So, but what the Red Cross wants to do is go on foot to everyone who still lives in the red circle of disaster, and make sure that they have enough supplies to get through another storm. They know where the best shelter is. And so one of the things that we'll be doing is one of our vans will drive to a neighborhood and walk around there, the whole morning and make sure they get each address, mark them off the Red Cross list, and then move on, that sort of thing. So that's highly social. I think we'll get some neat times to hear stories and pray with people. And we'll be doing a little on-the-spot training and giving them some supplies. That's the type of thing that we'll be doing then. And then the way I understand it for job number 2 is there's kind of a giant database where your organization could sign up, my property needs X, and they just kind of get to them as they can. And so there's lots of places where, like, if the building was completely destroyed and half of the garbage from that ended up in the field, we might end up cleaning up that to make it possible for that land to be used to be built on again. And then some just need, like, the carpet torn out, and so we might be doing stuff like that. The rebuild portion, some places just need a paint job, or they need someone else did 90% of a job and they just need us to come in and do the last bit of it. So sort of piecemeal and ad hoc as best we can for those things. And then finally, the Sheds of Hope ministry is I learned a nationwide ministry. They go into disaster areas, and wherever people are in temporary housing, they build sheds so that people in temporary housing have a place to store their stuff. Anything that they've bought or recovered goes there. And so these two, it's a lot of manual labor. This one, the manual labor is sort of maybe like in a parking lot where you're removed from the disaster area, and then they ship the sheds in. So these are the things that we will be doing some of, and I think it helps to start wrapping your mind around what the kids need to bring to understand what the jobs are. In the past, when we've done manual labor, we've had to bring our own tools, but this time we don't, so that's an awesome blessing. No one needs to buy a hammer or something. But we do need to bring work gloves, so that'll be on the list, but make sure that's the case.